Today, with a heavy heart, I'm here to talk about tragedy. When tragic things happen in our lives, we wonder, where was God? What was God doing? Why couldn't He prevent this tragedy from happening when He is all knowing, when He is Almighty God? Today, we're here to talk about tragedy. Shalom. In these hard times, still may God's peace be with you. 힘드시겠지만 여러분들의 삶 속에 평안과 안녕하심이 있기를 바랍니다. My name is Enoch, and I serve my Jesus Christ as a pastor. When tragedy hits, like the tragedy that just happened in my motherland, more than 160 plus families have lost their loved ones. Where was God? What was He doing? If He is all-knowing and all-powerful, why couldn't He prevent this? It is our tendency as human beings. We try to find a route and search a place where we could blame. It is your fault. It is His fault. It is God's fault. Blame game. In the book of John chapter 11, there comes a story of a family who loved Jesus Christ so much. And when the sister lost her brother, Martha blames Jesus. John chapter 11, verse 21, it says, Martha said unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. Even Martha blaming Jesus. We already told you, Jesus, a couple of days ago, that my brother is sick and dying. You knew it. You're the Son of God. You have the power to help us, but you're now late. Blame game. At the Garden of Eden, Adam blames Eve. It's the women that you created. Actually, Adam blames God, right? Eve blames God. It's the snake that you created. Blaming God. Why did you? Where were you? How come you did not prevent? Korea, the governors are blaming the police officers. Where were you? Governors and president says, it's not my fault. It is sad, but it's not my fault. It's the police officer's fault. Some of the, netizens, the people who go on the internet, they blame the people who went out in the dark of the night, celebrating Halloween. Why did you go out there? There's so many people, 100,000 people on the street. Why did you? After the tragedy happens, we as human beings, our tendencies are to search for a place to blame. And it caused more pain to the family. It caused more struggle and tears to the family. Today, through Jesus Christ in John chapter 11, we must learn as Christians what to do, what to say through the example of Jesus Christ. When Martha was searching for a place to blame, when Korean media and then the governors and everybody's searching for a place to blame, how do we comfort the family? How do we comfort the family who have lost their loved ones? When tragedy hits, how do we help our friends? How do we help the families? How do we help the community who's going through these hardships? How do we cope with this? And this is the answer of Jesus Christ. What did Jesus do when tragedy happens? This is his verbs. This is what he did. And in John chapter 11, verse 35, it is such a famous verse. And this is what Jesus did. And this is something that you and I should learn from Jesus and do when tragedy happens and when we want to comfort our loved ones. John chapter 11, 35. This is what Jesus did. Jesus wept. Yes. Jesus didn't go out to do something, to find a logic, to find a blame route. Whose fault is that Lazarus died? Jesus wasn't looking for those, but Jesus simply came and he wept. And then the 2 verses before it says, Jesus saw Martha weeping. Jesus saw the friends and community weeping. And it says, Jesus groaned in spirit. And Jesus was troubled and sharing the pain with the family and then the community. He wasn't searching for a place to blame, but he was present and he was standing next to the people who are hurting. And he shared the pain. He shed the tears, and Jesus wept. It is not the logic that he was searching for. It is not who to blame that he was searching for. Rather, he was empathizing and standing in the place where the family stood crying. Jesus said, way before to Martha, your brother shall rise again. Jesus knew. Jesus had the answer, and the following verses that Jesus will show the answer to the Martha and then the community that Jesus will help Lazarus come back to life. But at the moment when the tragedy happened, he wasn't searching for a place to blame or searching for a logic why he died, but he wept in silence and he shared the pain. Brothers and sisters, as Seventh-day Adventist Christians, as the world is seeing and the world is searching for a place to blame, what was police doing? Why couldn't they have controlled better? Why were the young people out in the night? It is their fault. You know what? It is hurting the family even more if you dig up a reason why this happened. But rather, we need to empathize with them. We need to cry with them. We need to pray with them and share the pain that they're going through. At this time, we don't need an explanation. Who should have done this? Who should have done that? Why? No. We need to be with the community when tragedy happens, and we need to be like Jesus Christ, and we need to weep with the people who's going through the pain. There won't be any words that we could speak to explain the tragedy. There won't be any answer or blame game that could solve the tragedy. At this time, what we need is to follow Jesus Christ, what he has done in those 2 short words. Jesus wept, and be with the people who's going through tragedy. I challenge you today, my brothers and sisters. Pray with them. Cry with them. Groan with them. Be troubled with them. And empathize what they are going through. And hold on to the promise of Jesus Christ, the one who could overcome the death and give the hope to the 160 plus families. May Jesus touch their families, and may Jesus' hope be their comfort and strength today. Brothers and sisters, friends and family, let us weep together today. May God's peace and comfort be with the families. May God bless the families of Itaewon who's moaning and weeping.